Uh, hello there. You're Emmy, right? You're the 35-year-old granny with no kids? The same Emmy? Am I right?
Excuse me. Can I ask who this is?
Answer me first. What is this? I'm the one who's asking the question. Nobody answers a question with a question. That's super rude.
Well, you're contacting me. Isn't it respectful first state your name? You seem to know perfectly well who I am, but I have no idea who you are. I know better than to start blabbering about my personal information to some stranger.
Yeah, I get it. You old ladies are all the same. Always belly aching about this or that. I'm Mandy. I'm a college student at Stinson Medical College.
A med student at Stinson? Really? So you're studying to be a doctor, huh?
You got that right. This med student is in the process of going steady with Mark.
Wait, excuse me? Are you aware that Mark is my husband?
Yeah, I'm perfectly aware. But sorry to say, he's got money and he's all mine now.
So that means he's cheating on me. You're having an affair with a married man.
Please stop with the words like cheating or having an affair. Just sounds so vulgar. We're just two innocent people in love. Just because you're jealous, it gives you no right to be so presumptuous.
All I'm doing is verifying the facts, that's all. Anyway, am I correct in assuming that you and my husband are currently in an illicit relationship?
Yep, that's right. Still don't like how you phrased it, but whatever. I'm really sorry about all this, lady.
You seem so nonchalant about all of this. Is this just your character? It's just the kind of person you are, I suppose.
Well, I guess. People do say I have an outgoing personality, if that's what you're asking. Maybe it's just that I'm younger and more energetic.
Pardon me?
I'm 21 now. Just turned 21 a month ago. As young as they come.
21, huh? Okay, what about it?
What I'm trying to say is that, unlike you, I'm not an over-the-hill 35-year-old woman. I'm young and vibrant. I have way more value than you. That's what I'm saying. Can you refute that?
Yes, I suppose you're right. There are plenty of women like me around. But I'm curious. Don't you feel cheap dating a married man? Someone way older than you?
Feel cheap? What are you talking about?
And you do realize that Mark is 36 years old, right? He's 15 years older than you. Seems like an old man by your standards.
An over 30 guy is no way the same as an over 30 woman. Everyone knows that. Mark is what you call a dandy, attractive, middle-aged gentleman.
You describe Mark as dandy? Attractive, middle-aged gentleman? You're not serious.
Why so surprised?
Kind of weird for me to say, but that tired, out-of-shape guy, an attractive, middle-aged gentleman? Are we talking about the same person? I really can't understand what you young people are thinking these days.
I think that's just a jealous old lady talking. You got to get out more instead of knitting or whatever you do at home. Besides, no matter what you say, it's too late. Your husband, the prestigious doctor, told me he wants to marry me, the vibrant and beautiful girl, 15 years his younger.
Wait, did you just say he's a doctor?
You think I didn't know that he makes in excess of $300,000 a year? And his father has his own medical practice. And obviously, he will be taking over that practice after his father. And he lives in that 3-story building with that huge backyard. And 3-car garage, right? He has his clinic out on the 1st floor.
Where the hell did you get all this information?
My grandfather used to go there regularly when he was sick years ago. That's the reason I decided to pursue a career in medicine. Was because my grandpa was so enamored by Mark's father that he wanted me to become a doctor like him. I've always maintained good grades, and I think I have the brains for it. I was just able to get in this med school.
I see, but
To be honest, I don't want to be a doctor. I figured I could just squeak by. Once I get into med school, the guys would clamor for me. Brains and beauty kind of thing. But all that studying, it's getting to be a hassle. There's just so much to learn. That was the mood I was in when I happened to attend one of those matchmaking parties at school. That's where I ran into this dandy doctor with a high annual income. On top of that, he was the son of the doctor that treated my grandfather years ago. I mean, if that's not fate, I don't know what is.
my first thought is, why is a married man attending a matchmaking party?
See? That's what I'm saying. You middle-aged women always nitpick every detail. That's why your husband dropped you.
Mandy, was it? One important thing.
We're really getting off track here. The fact is, Mark and I are in love. So, I would appreciate it if you would just divorce him ASAP.
You two are really being bold here, I have to say. I'm not only talking about you, but also my husband for attending some matchmaking party and seducing a college student.
Seducing, huh? Yeah, well,
I can't very well decide on a divorce over the phone, so I'll contact you later on after I verify it with Mark. Oh yeah, Mandy? There is one thing I must warn you about. I really think you should do a little more research on Mark if I were you.
pardon me?
I don't know how all this came about, but I think you got your wires crossed somewhere along the way.
What are you talking about, lady?
You go on like this, and you will reap the consequences. Your whole life could be jeopardized. Okay, that's all I have to say. I'll contact you later.
Bye, finally! I never thought you would grant that divorce. I guess it couldn't be helped. I bet you broke down and probably wouldn't throw in the towel to the bitter end, right? That's why it took so friggin' long.
Huh? I was all for it from the very start. Actually, I thought the whole thing was settled pretty quickly given the circumstances. It was total chaos. What with getting his parents and relatives involved in the whole mess, I was so darn relieved that the divorce papers went through.
You sure know how to put a brave face on. As long as the divorce is complete, I don't care about the rest. And about having to pay damages or compensation to you or whatever, Mark will take care of all that. We start our lives with a clean slate. If you even think about getting near him, I'll fetch the police on you right away. Just remember that.
I was just gonna say the same thing to you. I guess you simply ignored my warning. Didn't even bother to check up on Mark. I just hope you two will just disappear from my life for good. That's my only desire.
Seriously? I really can't figure you out. We're on completely different wavelengths. Hey, Emmy. Mandy here. Hey, when are you going to move out of that house? You know that 3-story place, Main Street?
Excuse me.
I already terminated my apartment lease. I have to be out of here by the end of the month, which is like tomorrow. I really would like to move in this afternoon. I need to get my stuff over there by the end of the day and start living my dream. A rich wife of a super successful doctor! So I need his ex-wife to pack it up and vacate the premises.
Oh, Mandy, I really don't know what you're talking about. It's none of my business whether you marry or not, but shouldn't you give priority to finishing school first?
Ugh, like I said before, I have no interest being a doctor. And besides, now that I'm married to a successful doctor, why work, right? So, I went ahead and quit school. How do you like that?
Wait, you quit school? I'm sure it wasn't easy to get in. Seems a little reckless, don't you think?
I told you, the whole thing is just one big hassle. My husband brings in more than $300,000 annually. Why work? I'm just fine being a housewife, thank you. I couldn't wait to quit that school. It was getting tiresome.
I see. You really got your wires crossed somewhere. You're headed straight toward disaster. I warned you.
What the hell are you talking about? Keep blabbering about that nonsense. What's up with that? Are you okay up there? Hello? Anybody home? Let's cut the crap. I want you out of there today. Do the Vanishing Act. If you don't hurry up and get your ass out of there, I won't be able to take my place as the new landlord's wife.
Tell me, Mandy, why would I move out of my own house? This house has been in my family for years.
Excuse me? Your house? Been in the family? What are you blabbering about?
What a hassle. To borrow your words, Mark has already been forcibly returned to his parents' home back east, and so I suppose I'm the one that has to explain all this to you.
What are you talking about? Forcibly returned? Back east? Where back east? What are you talking about?
Let's set one thing straight right off the bat, shall we? The doctor you keep mentioning? That would be me. And the 3-story home and clinic that you're so fond of? That's my father's place. He built and ran that clinic for years. I will be taking over his practice when the time comes.
Wait, no way!
I talked to Mark and his reasoning is this. He said he lived at that house, but he never said he was a doctor.
Then what does he do? What's Mark's job?
He's currently unemployed.
Excuse me? Unemployed?
He worked at a clothing factory over in the next country for several years, but after marrying me, the factory went bankrupt and he left without a job. Ever since then, he's been without gainful employment.
No, I can't be.
After our divorce, he returned to his parents' place, and in order to pay off the debt to me, he's working several jobs.
Come on! You're making this all up! You are making all up, right?
I'm not making it up. If you doubt what I say, ask your grandfather.
Huh? My grandfather.
Yes, you said your grandfather came to our clinic and he was so taken by the treatment he got that he urged you to go to med school. That's what you said, don't you remember? I also remember an old man that used to come here. I'm sure he'll remember me.
This can't be right. Are you serious?
He's probably extremely angry at you for insulting the doctor's family that he's so respected. What's more, you quit med school. I hear your grandfather paid your tuition and your monthly allowance. I don't know the circumstances, but I would be furious.
This is not happening. Please. I just can't pay this compensation to you. Please. I was receiving a regular allowance from my folks while I was in college. And I've never worked a part-time job in my life. So, could you...
I know you were expecting Mark to pay for all of that, but you want to know the truth, Mandy? It's a tough world out there. You better wake up to the fact.
But I had no idea that... I was only trying to...
I suggest you return home. Work things out with your family first.
I can't do that. I really can't. My folks told me to come back, but my grandpa is there too, and I really can't handle him right at the moment.
We talked about this through our lawyer. This is no joke, Mandy. It's not about you simply getting a slap on the wrist. Can't you get that through your pretty little head?
But what am I supposed to do?
You're gonna pay that compensation. The amount we agreed on through our lawyer, your folks agreed on it too. So, pull up your socks, grit your teeth, and bear it.
I just don't have that kind of money.
If you have any other comments, please refer to my lawyer.
I'm completely broke. What do you want from me?
Goodbye, Mandy. She mistook my husband for a doctor and stole him away from me. I really don't mind that part, to be honest. As a matter of fact, I was contemplating divorce for years. I tried to warn her, but she was so obsessed with being a rich doctor's wife that she would not listen. She was so infatuated with being a rich wife, she even quit school for God's sake. She had the brains to get into med school. Such a waste. I suppose being smart doesn't automatically mean a person has common sense. I heard that her grandfather paid for the damages on her behalf, but he's making her pay every cent back along with the tuition that he paid so far. He apparently introduced her to a live-in job as a cleaning lady for some rich family. She said she never worked a day in her life, so I can imagine how tough it will be on her. But maybe it's the perfect medicine for her. She's still young, and I hate to admit it, smart. She'll get through it somehow.
I can't live with you being depressed. I'm not coming back, so please sign the divorce papers.
But how dare you leaving me so suddenly? What are you thinking?
You're fired. I don't need you anymore.
I'm sorry for being sick. But it's too sudden.
You were spoiled. It's just a clinical depression. It's not even a reason you can't continue working.
It's not an easy problem.
I can't live with an unemployed sick husband. I really hope to move on right now.
You're kidding me, right?
You are just a guy acting like the heroine of the tragedy. That's gross.
Stop kidding me.
No, I'm not kidding.
I'm going back to work as soon as possible for my family. Evan is only 3 years old, so it won't take so long.
But you haven't decided when you're going back to work, right? Then I can't trust you.
So, what about Evan? If we get divorced, the biggest victim will be our kid.
So what?
Can we discuss about what to do with him? Our sudden decision makes him just sad.
If you insist, then I don't want him either, so you can take care of him.
Are you crazy? He is our child.
If I want to remarry in the future, an existing child will be a disadvantage. Don't you understand? That's why I can't take him in charge. Please take care of him instead.
A mother is not supposed to say such things.
He's not even old enough to remember who I am. And in a few days, he'll forget all about me.
Sorry?
You don't even understand whose fault it is that you're in this mess in the first place, you know?
So, you mean it's all my fault?
So?
It doesn't make sense to me.
A victim although you cheated me? I'm a victim.
No, I didn't cheat you.
I heard you were the son of a landowner. So I asked my friend to introduce me to him, and then we got married. I can't believe that it turned out you makes only $60,000 a year and has a low income. You cheated me.
What are you talking about?
After we got married, you told me that you have an older brother, and you told me he will inherit. That's not what I expected.
Hey, I don't think we talked about my family's property before we got married.
I heard it from my friend. There's a guy whose parents are landowners.
What? So you got married to me for the property, you mean?
What else could be the reason? Marrying to a low-income game creator for nothing? Who would do that?
How dare you?
I expected the income would be at least $15,000 a year. At least $15,000 a year in total of the rent and your salary. But apparently, I drew the short end of the stick.
That's an assumption you made on your own, right?
Your parents are successful in the real estate business and own 50 buildings. That's what I heard. I couldn't help believing it.
I didn't tell you anything about my parents' real estate business either, did I? It was your mistake to believe the rumor.
It's your fault. You didn't even talk about it.
I left the family business to my brother because I wanted to focus on my work. So I haven't been involved in the property at all.
If I knew that, I wouldn't have married to a creepy nerd like you.
What did you say?
If you have no property, you're nothing but trash.
Can you stop saying like that? I have too much on my mind and can't stand your words right now.
I see. Then,
can't we at least talk about Evan? We can't make him feel sad.
Then why don't you do your best not to make him sad?
Can't you imagine how painful for him it would be if his mother suddenly disappeared?
That's none of my business. I'm going to get a boyfriend and enjoy my second life.
Oh no.
Well then, let me know when you finish the paperwork for divorce. Bye then.
My name is Mike, and I am a company employee in California, and I will be 35 years old this year. My parents were famous landowners, but my brother was planning to take over the family business. I was free to choose my profession, so I went into the game industry, which I had longed to do. I was enjoying my work every day, but I had a hard time doing hard work. I was recently diagnosed with depression and am currently on leave. I met Georgia, who is 6 years younger than me. We met through a mutual friend. She apparently liked me and we started dating. We have opposite personalities. I am an introverted person, and I was attracted to her outgoing personality. I gradually became to consider a marriage, and 5 years ago, I proposed to her. And we ended up getting married. And we had a child. I thought we would have a bright future ahead of us. However, in addition to my own illness, Georgia asked me for getting divorced. I felt like I have been plunged into unhappiness all at once. Also, Georgia did not seem to take it seriously about Evan at all. My affection for her had totally gone. After these text messages, I decided to get a divorce. I had set up a lawyer and it was in process. I was shocked to figure out the truth by text messages from her.
You should divorce me as soon as possible. Why is it taking so long?
It's still taking me a while to draw up the paperwork related to custody. Just give me a little more time.
I went all the way to the courthouse yesterday. You still haven't finished?
We have to get all things done in order, not to have any problems later.
I told you Evan will live with you, and I won't even see him in the future. So we don't need paperwork.
A verbal agreement has no legal effect, so you need to put it in writing.
What a hassle! Can you think about me other than yourself?
That's my line. All this divorce talk is making my insomnia worse, and the hospital says I need to rest.
I don't care. I'm about to get remarried.
What? What are you talking about?
I'm getting remarried to a rich man.
Sorry?
Have you ever heard of Granwell Foods?
It's a frozen food company, right? You see them on commercials sometimes.
I'm getting remarried to the president, so will you break up with me quickly?
So, you mean you cheated on me?
What?
On the family register. You are not allowed to date while we are married.
You don't know anything.
What do you mean?
If the divorce was for cheating, you could get compensation, but not in this case, right?
But if you're cheating on me during our marriage, I can demand compensation, right?
No way!
What?
If the relationship is actually broken, it's legally safe to have an affair during that time.
Huh?
I met him after I left home.
You mean... You're saying that you met him when your divorce was not decided? Is that what you're trying to say?
Yes. At that point, it was difficult to repair a relationship. It's legally impossible to get compensation for cheating.
No kidding.
If you think I'm lying, why don't you ask a lawyer?
I just got off the phone with one.
How did it go?
In this case, it might be tough to get compensation on the grounds of cheating.
I knew it.
It doesn't make sense.
It's all your fault. You pretended a rich man actually with a low income, and you're on a leave of absence due to depression? No wonder I left you.
Okay, I'm getting a divorce as soon as I can. I can't take this anymore.
Just get it over with. It's been a while since we talked last time. Guess where I am?
We got divorced 6 months ago. What do you want now?
No worries, it's just a quick update.
No need for that.
That's cold. I thought I'd share my happiness with you so you'd get better.
It's only going to get worse.
You're exaggerating.
I don't care where you are. Just stay away from me and Evan.
There's no way I can get close to you. I'm in Europe now.
You're not in California?
I moved to Europe right after I remarried because of my husband's job.
So that means it's been about 6 months since you immigrated?
I hear everything is fashionable and my husband makes a lot of money. I'm really happy.
That's great. Can I go now? I'm busy.
You're unemployed, so don't pretend you're busy.
No, I'm not.
I know you're disappointed that I'm happy.
Not at all.
You are kidding.
I mean, are you okay?
What?
You haven't seen the breaking news?
I don't watch TV. It's not in English.
I saw this on TV. Your husband is getting arrested for tax evasion.
What? What's this article?
It just came out a few minutes ago. I don't know the details, but... Where are you?
I'm at home. My husband went to work this morning.
If that's the case, he was at work when the police arrested him.
I don't know anything about tax evasion.
Oh, there's another bulletin.
What is it this time?
Illegal immigration. Your husband. It's a preliminary report that he didn't apply for a work visa.
Work visa? Is it bad if he doesn't have one?
Working abroad without a work visa is not permitted.
You are joking.
Applying for a work visa is a lot of work, so maybe he just faked it. Is your visa okay? If you're on a tourist visa, you'll have to check a lot of things. You might be in the country illegally.
Is a tourist visa also a problem? I don't work here though.
A tourist visa is only good for a short period of time, so if you've been there for 6 months, it's possible you're overdue.
I have no idea. He arranged everything.
The maximum stay for a tourist visa is 180 days. I hope your visa is okay.
If I'm here illegally too, will I be arrested?
If you are there illegally, you'll be deported back to the US. I hear you can be deported and banned from Japan for a few years.
Well, if that's all it takes.
But your husband will be arrested as soon as he gets back.
Why?
Like I said before, your husband is a tax evasion suspect.
He should just pay that when he gets back to Japan, right?
The total amount of tax evasion is $4 million.
Are you serious?
He's been dodging taxes for a long time. He can't just make a quick payment or anything, can he?
I'm getting a headache.
I guess he fled overseas because he didn't want to get caught for tax evasion. He didn't think he'd be caught for illegal immigration. Your husband is pretty stupid too.
What about me?
You'd be blameless if you weren't involved in tax evasion. Your luxury life is over. I'm so sorry.
I don't get it.
You've been punished for the mess you made of me and Evan.
You don't deserve saying such things.
I'm not unemployed anymore, okay?
You got your job back. You still make $60,000 a year, right? Don't be so arrogant with your low income.
I make $800,000 a year.
What?
I'm living a relatively good life now, and Evan and I are happy together.
What's going on? I don't understand how you can make that kind of income in 6 months.
I inherited a part of my dad's property.
I thought your brother was the heir.
He just left the management to my brother. There were actually about 10 buildings under my name.
Huh?
But I wanted to concentrate on my job. I asked my brother to take care of them for me.
What did you do with the rental income?
I gave most of the rent money to my brother for keeping management.
You mean the rest came in?
No, I spent it for nurturing care of my parents.
Oh my.
I thought you aren't a gold digger, so I didn't tell you about it. I was lucky. Take off your mask.
It was the wrong decision. Asking your brother to return the apartment?
I thought it was too much for him to ask me to give it back all after this time. Maybe I was kind of selfish. But when I thought about Evan, I didn't have time to hesitate.
I didn't even imagine what happened to you.
I'm my father's son too. Of course it could happen.
I wouldn't have divorced if it was like this.
Because you only care about money. But I'm glad we're divorced.
It was my fault.
What? You are too late.
For our son, will you become my husband again?
Are you serious?
I'm his mother. I'm sure he'd be happy to live with me too.
I'm sorry. I don't think he remembers much about you.
Oh my god!
I just showed him a picture of you. He said, "Who are you?"
You're kidding!
If he hasn't seen you for 6 months, he'll forget.
Maybe he'll remember once we start living together.
I don't want to live with you.
Living together.
I don't want to live with you, and neither does Evan.
Then I'll take custody. I'll become a single mother and raise my son.
I thought I hadn't heard from you in a while. I thought it's been a while since I got a message from you, but you didn't ask me anything about Evan and instead bragged about how rich you are. You don't deserve being his mother.
I'm his mother. There's nothing strange about claiming custody.
You're under a lot of pressure. And in a lot of trouble, so if you claim custody, you're only going to make him unhappy.
As long as I get child support, I can at least raise my child.
You were interested only in money.
It is legal to request child support as a custodial parent. And besides, you have income from rent, and because you're back to work, you have money coming in, don't you? I'll take care of our kid. You'll pay me $3,000 a month.
I submitted my resignation to my company last month.
You quit? You quit?
I couldn't put myself first to continue my favorite job ignoring Evan. I can't make him sad.
Don't talk to me like I'm making him sad.
You made him sad enough. After our divorce, he cried at night so bad. I went to see a doctor with him. And they diagnosed he was stressed too much.
Oh.
Because of your selfishness, Evan went through a lot of pain. And yet you want to take care of him? No kidding.
Hey, listen.
And even worse, you want me to pay child support because you're going single? I can't give custody to someone like that.
But I'm still his mother. I read on the internet that it's legal to claim custody after the fact. So there should be no problem.
What about you? You were officially relinquished your parental rights at the courthouse.
So what?
If you want to change custody, the court won't approve it unless you have a good reason.
We're going to be tried again?
Of course, yes. We're going through the legal process. You can't change custody just based on your personal claim.
No way!
Plus, your remarried partner was arrested. You're currently unemployed. It's highly unlikely that the court would approve a custody change to a parent who doesn't make a right environment for a child. I think it's pretty unlikely that the court would approve it.
I can't get custody, you mean?
Can you just give up me and Evan? I'm not going to go along with your selfishness.
I'll do my best. I'll be a good mother.
Come on, you're too late.
Please, give me a chance.
You cheated on me for almost 2 years behind my back. You don't deserve a chance.
What? What are you talking about?
You didn't think I knew?
Wait, about what?
You've known your remarried partner for a rather long time, right?
I met him after we separated. The marriage was broken. It shouldn't have been a problem.
2 years before the divorce. You once went out at night saying you needed a break, didn't you? And the relationship started right away, didn't it?
How did you know that?
My lawyer suggested me. He said I should check with the inquiry agency. That's why I'm looking into it.
Shoot!
I was totally devastated when I heard I might not be able to get compensation from you, so the lawyer referred me to the agency.
That sucks!
I was hoping to find some evidence that would give me an advantage. I looked into it, but it was a lot easier than I thought.
How did you find out about my past?
The manager of the bar knew about your history. He testified for me. And all I have, the other evidence of the affair.
So what? We're divorced. It's too late for that.
I'm telling you, I can still demand compensation.
No way! Are you going to do that?
You don't seem to be sorry at all. You should punished.
It's not funny at all. Come on.
We should have had these talks before the divorce, but I found out your affair after my illness got worse.
Is that why you agreed to the divorce right away without saying anything?
I couldn't stand it anymore. That's why you divorced her without asking for compensation.
What?
It was good. Because I got a message from you when my depression is getting better.
I shouldn't have sent a message like this.
That's exactly what I thought. If you'd just stay quiet, I wasn't going to ask you for compensation at all.
Oh my.
Then I'll talk to a lawyer and ask for compensation. You'd better be prepared, okay? Bye. It turned out that Georgia's visa was a tourist visa. Since it was for a period of 90 days or less, she was considered to be illegally staying abroad. She was deported. After returning to US, we immediately demanded compensation and ordered her to make one-time payment done to prevent her from escaping. I told her that I would collect the money through compulsory execution if she failed to pay. The word compulsory may have scared her. She was in panic and asked an acquaintance of her partner to introduce her to a loan company. She agreed to make the payment. What's worse? She discovered that her partner has been in debt. She demanded a divorce, but her partner told her that she could earn a lot of money if she did not get a divorce. And he introduced her a job. She longed for a luxurious life again, so she believed in his words and agreed to his proposal. However, the job he offered her was a sex job, and her salary is taken from her partner, so she has just a small income. What's worse, the loan company from which she borrowed money turned out to be a black market bank. She is now struggling with exorbitant interest payments. In contrast, I live happily with my son. I also enjoy creating games as a hobby. My depression is gradually improved. I never imagined my wife was such a terrible person, even in my dreams. I feel better now that she has been punished.